Peace, guys. It's the Queen of Spades. So I figured I would come at you today with some updates. I did a love binding / do as I say, working for a client, and basically, just to give you the background on the situation without giving too much of her information. Basically, it was a situation where her husband, very controlling, verbally and emotionally abusive, and like always shooting accusations at her. It was just really horrible how he was treating her, how he was coming at her with no sort of evidence or reason to come at her necessarily. But for whatever reason decided that he wanted to act like an ass towards her. So I asked her, what do you want to do? What do you want me to do about it? Because there was a few different ways I could have gone about my energy work or spell work, obviously. She didn't want any harm to come to him. She just wanted him to stop acting like that. Stop, being verbally abusive, so on and so on. So what I did was a love binding / do as I say spell. Basically I did, I did energy work to calm him down, bring him down to a 0, and to basically stop him from his verbally abusive ways. And so I did this working, and literally, like, I always wonder, okay, are they going to call me, and tell me the results, or do I have to reach out to them? She contacted me maybe like a couple of days after that, 2 days after that to be exact. And I'm just like, she's like, what the hell did you do? Like, what did you do to him? And so, like, I got a little nervous, like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know if something, I don't know what could possibly be going on based off of like the shock in her voice. So I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, what did you do, like, to him? What did you do? I was like, okay, before I go there, let's start with how he's acting. What is he doing at this point in time? Like, is he acting any different? Like, what is he doing? So she's like, well, he's just acting weird. Like, he's just really, really weird. And I'm like, weird how? Like, what is he doing? Like, she's like, he's just being really weird. He's not being himself at all. So I'm like, okay, I need details. So, she's like, well, he's just really quiet. Like, and I'm like, well, has he accused you of like some of the ignorant things he's accused you of or anything like that? She's like, no, he's literally like quiet. Like, he's just really quiet. And I'm like quiet how? Like, not saying anything at all? Or she's like, it's weird. Like, she was like, he'll just be like staring at me like, oh, I'm so in love with my wife. Like, I don't know what's come over me. I'm just so in love with my wife. Like, he never accuses her of things anymore. She says he's very attentive to her. And they actually can have like conversations, whereas before they could never conversate because he was an asshole towards her. just always, you know, verbally abusive. So now they can actually have meaningful conversations. And she's like, I don't know what the hell you did, but I could get used to the shit. Like, I'm like, I just did a love binding / do as I say spell on him. You know, he's not going to be acting like that anymore. So, I basically solved the problem. Like, I was just trying to solve your issues, you know. She's like, but how, like, what did you do? So I do have people ask me sometimes, like, what exactly did you do? Because it makes no sense how fast the results were for this type of situation, or for this person to do a total 360 towards me. Like, I need to know what the hell you did. And in that case, I offer consultations. And you can message me for the consultations, because they vary depending on the time, the amount of time that you want for your consultation. I also, in my packages for my workings, I also give a person instructions, thorough instructions on what to do on their end, as well as like if they wanted to know how to redo the spell themselves, then I do give that person that information. And you would just simply message me to find out exactly how, and I tell you how, you know, I would go about doing that. But she was utterly surprised at the result. And I mean, spells can start to work anywhere between 2 days and 2 months. Like, it just depends. If it's a big working that requires like a little bit of time to go by for things to start, like that energy to really start moving, then it may take a longer amount of time. But if it's a small spell, an immediate spell, then it could take anywhere between 2 days and 2 weeks. It just depends on what it is. For those types, it usually does take maybe just a couple of days for a person to start seeing results. But like I said, it varies. It also varies on that person's thinking. Like if I'm doing a working for someone and they're doubting that I can make something happen, or they're doubting that there could be a change in the situation, then because they're more closely connected and tied to that situation than I am, they could influence the outcome of the energy, possibly even more than the work that I put towards it. So that's why it's very important, if you're going to get energy work or you're going to do energy work yourself, don't doubt. Never have any doubt. Never be fearful, especially if you feel like from get-go, like, you know, you're justified in doing your work, or you're justified in having a working done. Never have doubt, never have fear, and just know that, you know, the outcome will be in your favor, especially if you're a just person and you're a genuine person and this is your last result, whatever the case may be. You can't have doubt, you can't have fear, and you can't hound a person like, oh my God, I don't see any results. Like, you know, hours after the person said they were going to do something, or maybe even a day later. You can't hound the person like, nothing's happening, because nothing will happen. You've just got to be very cautious about how you think and what you're putting off into the universe, because you could very well counteract whatever I put out there. But anyways, I went off on a little bit of a tangent, but this was definitely a success. I talked to her for about a week straight, and she's like, I don't know what you did, but this is crazy. Like, this is not my husband. Like, he usually would be down my throat about something, like, you know, all day. Like, it was just crazy. Like, he was just, anytime he could get to her, whether it be by phone or in person, he was like going off on her for no reason. Literally. It was just, you could tell he was a little off in his judgment, and also, like I said, verbally and emotionally abusive. And it was to the point where, you know, she was starting to have chest pains because of what he was putting her through. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to handle this, because this is insane, you know, for him to be doing this, and there's really no cause for him to be acting this way. So long story short, she asked me to do something just to get him off of her back, and he ended up doing a total 360. She's like, he's always interested in things that I want to do and I want to talk about. He's just like, he's very quiet, very still. Like, he used to call her like, on her break, and just hound the hell out of her, like for as long as he could talk with her. And, now he's like, hi, I'm just calling to check on you. You know, I was just wondering if you needed something to eat for lunch. You want me to come by so that we can spend our lunch breaks together, or, have you already eaten, you know? And she's like, no, I'm fine. You know, I've already eaten. And he's like, well, if you need me, just give me a call. You know, I'm not too far away. I will come by and bring you whatever you need. Just give me a call. And she's like, okay, like, she's never had that from him before. So it's shocking to her. And I mean, that is a total 360. Also, like, he's much more affectionate. Like, he used to come on her job, like, you know, acting crazy, like, you know, accusing people of being with her, busting into rooms and doors, just irate and off, you know. And she said that he acts like he could have never been an aggressive person. She says, like, he did a 360, like she still is kind of leery, because it seems weird to her that, like, he's so different. And she was like, we don't have arguments. We don't have arguments. Like, we just conversate. Like, this is crazy. Like, I need to know what the hell you did so that I can maybe get some myself, you know. But I'm happy for her, because she deserved that sort of outcome. It was not a healthy situation for her at all. And, you know, like I said, he was just irate and off. And I'm just happy to have been able to, you know, be able to help her. So that was one situation. And the other situation, I actually helped, and I'm still working with this person, because once I helped him with one aspect of the situation, now he's like, okay, well, I need help with this, that, and the other. So, and, you know, basically I have workings that are flat rates. So basically, unless, I have decided to go up in the working or whatever the case may be. For the most part, they're going to remain the same. And like I said, if you're interested in getting one done for yourself, then you would need to message me. You could message me on here on YouTube, or you could go to my page on Facebook or even Instagram, which is Johari's Lair of Spaded Ace. You could go there and message me on Facebook, Johari's Lair of Spaded Ace, or message me or DM me, on Instagram. So for this particular situation, the guy's wife is also abusive, has been abusive for many years, demands that he give her all of his money. Otherwise, she will become physically violent. She'll threaten to kill him. She'll threaten to harm him at every turn. And in some cases, she has acted on her threats and has actually done physical harm to him. So he's kind of like the battered husband in this sense. And he's quite scared of pissing her off. But now he's trying to find ways to calm her down so that he could possibly remove himself from the situation. She's just completely psychotic. Like, if he's on the phone with any of his male friends, like, she'll accuse him and them of being gay, and it couldn't be farthest from the truth because he loves women. It's just crazy stuff like that. So I did a working for him on her, to calm her down and to bind her from doing any harm to him. And so he contacted me, and he's like, a few days after I did it for him, and he's like, she has not been physically violent towards me. What did he say? He was like, in fact, lately, she just loaned me like a lump sum of money to either fix my car or get a brand new one. And I was like, that's great. Like, he's like, did you have something to do with that? And I was like, yes, I did. Because what I did was I bound her from being harmful physically to him. I did a calming incantation for her to calm all the way down from where she was. And instead of being so ugly and nasty to him, to be sweet to him. And instead of taking from him, why not be generous and give to him sometimes? So that was the type of working that I did for him. And, for him to come and say, oh, she just out the blue, like, gave me this lump sum of money. She never does anything like that. Like, she might buy me something from the store, like clothes or food, or, we went on a couple of trips, out of town, out of the country. She paid for it, but she holds the purse strings. Like, he's like, she never really gives me money ever, So for her to do that was very shocking to him, and I would say another success. He's very satisfied with the results, and now he has some other things that he's trying to get under wraps that he asked me to work with him on and help him with. And I don't mind. Paying customer is a paying customer, and if I feel like I can help you, then I will. If I feel like for any instance I can't, depending on that person or the situation, then I will let that person know up front. But I felt like I could help him. And it looks like I did. And now, like I said, if you're a paying customer and you want multiple workings done, then I don't mind doing it for you. I will even suggest certain things that need to be done. It's ultimately up to the person, what they think they may need or not need. It's ultimately up to that individual, but I'm available to do those types of, different workings nevertheless. And if it's something that I feel like I personally don't want to do or can't do, by chance, haven't studied it, haven't learned it yet, which is very rare. I've never had a situation like that yet, but I don't claim to know everything. I'm still learning, even though I'm a practicing, I'll say magician. I'm still learning myself. So I will definitely let people know if it's something that I can or cannot do. And if I can do it, then I will let you know the price and we'll go from there. So it really makes me feel good when my clients reach back out to me and they're like, oh my God, what the fuck did you do? Like, and they're really happy about the results. Like, I love it, because my goal, of course, yes, I like getting paid for my time and energy and work, but my goal ultimately is to help a person to come from certain situations so that they are free and better off to move forward and heal and progress, So it was really nice to hear those two clients get back with me. And like I said, one of the clients, the male client, he wants me to do more workings for him, particularly like attracting money, attracting a new love once he gets out of the situation. I've put protection around him, so I can only see good things coming to him as long as he keeps on with his end of the ordeal. I've sent some things to him, some rituals to do on his end when he's completely alone. That will also help from his end, along with the workings that I do for him. So I actually enjoy doing it. I love doing it. I do it for myself. I do it for my family and friends. And I do it for clients as well. And I actually really enjoy doing it, like sincerely and genuinely doing it for people who feel like maybe they're in a situation that they really felt like they couldn't get out of. And then, I come through and do a working for them and, hocus pocus pizzazz, they're just out of the situation. Now, of course, it doesn't happen that fast and overnight, but it does happen where it's almost immediate. In most of the situations where I've done energy work for people, I've seen almost immediate results. And it actually makes me feel really good because then I know that I was able to follow through with what I wanted to do, which was to ultimately help that person to, be on their way to where they're trying to get to. So I just wanted to share that. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I plan to release a couple of more videos soon concerning my personal story, my personal story times about my life, and also more videos on the updates and the success of other workings that I'm in the process of doing, either for myself or for others as well. So I will be back soon, very soon, to share these things. And Until then, you guys stay blessed. I look forward to speaking with you again soon. If you have any questions or comments, or you can connect or relate to what I'm saying, or you simply just like this video, drop them down below or message me on YouTube, or like I said, you know, my page on Facebook and on Instagram is Johari's Lair of Spaded Ace. So yeah, reach out to me through my inbox or through the message box on YouTube, and I will be sure to get back with you as soon as possible. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Talk to you soon. Peace and blessings.